Hi everybody, Radical Gardener. Today is Wednesday, August 31st. Did I get that right? And it's freaking hot. Yeah, Labor Day weekend's coming up. Woohoo! Okay. I feel great. A lot has happened. First of all, our center, where we're calling BioScalar protocol, is a combination of the cube, the EESystem, TeraHertz Frequency, and bioacoustic sound. And it's pretty fabulous. And we're getting great reviews, great testimonials, and I just ran across a couple of other things I want to incorporate that I think is really going to be useful. But also on top of that, we charge their water for them, and we send them home with water, and the minute they walk in the door, they have charged water. We soak their feet in salt water. So it's really a spa-like environment, and everybody that's come has really loved the attention to detail. So it's been great. Okay, now let's move over to this other issue. As you know, I don't shy away from something when I think there's some funny business going on, and I'm just going to take the higher road and say maybe there isn't funny business going on here, but I'm going to list some scenarios that have happened and are leaving me a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not pissed, I'm getting close, but it's like, what is going on here? It's one of those things. Let me start out with this. The cube, which is the nickname for the EESystem, is their company, and their website is EESystem.com. And that is Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, and she's a gem of a human being. You can just tell in her interviews, very high frequency, deeply cares about people, really excited to share, really going out on a limb with this technology and sharing this technology, because we know how that can go. So I have the utmost respect for her. So I want to make it really clear that it isn't her or her company that I and Dr. Snell and Dr. Barrett and frankly some other people are having an issue with. So there's another company, and I'm not quite sure who owns it. Maybe the fella that did the interview with Dr. Michael. I don't really care. I might care one day, but I don't really care right now. And it's called UNYFYD, UNYFYD. So they formed this website, I guess. I don't know if it's a company. And they are listing where people have their cubes and recommending, you know, where people have cubes. So if you say, hey, is there anybody in Bend, Oregon that has a cube? They can say, yeah, there is. However, what's happening is they are dismissing the smaller places of business. So you can have a cube that's 4 monitors, you can have one that's 8 monitors, you can have one that's 12 monitors, you can have one that's like 24 monitors, you know, I don't know. You can just keep going, I guess. And we're talking thousands of dollars. I mean, the small one's $15,000. So when we're saying that the smaller unit, this is a real healing device that works. So I started to get emails and actually phone calls at the center. We work out of Vedic Moons, where people are saying, well, you know, UNYFYD said that they don't really list you because you just have a cube, and I don't know, basically they're really just dismissing us, right? I mean, I can read you the messages I've gotten from people, but I mean, they're kind of attacking me that, you know, how dare me have this small unit where you know, UNYFYD isn't recommending it. I gotta tell ya, that's pretty weird in my book. So, you know, it's like, well, Walmart is really mad because mom and pop opened a grocery store across the street. So we'll move on to some of their comments. So Dr. Snell, see, we have two sites. We have one in Palm Coast and we have one in Milford. So we have two sites that are doing very well with this. And with Dr. Snell, even more so because she's an established practitioner. You know how I feel about her. I think she's one of the smartest people I've ever met. I don't know if I've ever met anybody who knew more about health than her. She's had her practice there between 20, 25 years, and it's established, right? She teaches at the Homeopathic Institute, the Quantum Institute. She's a homeopathic doctor. She did her pre-med at U of M. I'm telling you this because she is no punk. You know, I mean, I hang on her shirt tails, you know, because, well, I love her, but, you know, she's so smart. And I mean, I've learned every day, I learned something from her. She's an amazing human being. Actually, my friend Catherine calls her Baby Einstein. More fitting would be Baby Tesla. But anyway, so she's an amazing human being. She's run Fortune 500 companies. This is a really accomplished human being. So they, meaning UNYFYD, won't list her, give her any credit at all. And she's been running for 2 months because there's a big center with 24 monitors opening in, I don't know, close by, within 30 miles. So they have this arbitrary rule that you can't be within 30, if you're within 30 miles of a big unit, well, just tough. And even suggest to her maybe she'd want to move her established practice. Oh my God, this is so crazy. I can't even believe I'm saying a lot of this. Like, really? So one of the questions I have to ask is, I sure hope there's nobody that's involved with UNYFYD that owns a big center, because the conflict of interest here is mammoth. Also, when you're discouraging people to not go somewhere for a business, now we're into antitrust laws. And I put this down just so I had it in front of me. Where did I put that? Here it is. So the antitrust laws prohibit conduct by a single firm that unreasonably restrains competition by creating or maintaining monopoly power. You can say what you want, and maybe this seems like it's overboard, but when you are discouraging people from embracing a small business, what? And we're talking about one of the most profound devices to come along for healing and for the good of humanity. In my book, you should have one on every frickin' corner in my book. I don't care if small, big. I'm not going to let that bother me. Made my business, you know, unique. So yes, you can walk into a center that has 24 monitors. I think that's great. I really do. All the power to them. They spent a fortune. I hope they pack it out. But, you know, you're going to come into my place. It's going to be one-on-one. We're going to take care of you the best that we can. We're going to follow up. I mean, our attention to detail is bar none. You ask anybody that's come through our doors, and they can't get over it. That's how we really care. So that's pretty crazy, I got to tell you. You know what? This sort of happened with Bob Greska, C60, and I didn't back down on that one either. And you remember when the C60 first came out, there was an individual who was really promoting one of them. And it turned out that that one actually had a toluene wash. Actually, I believe they all do, except for Bob's, but you know, you can believe what you want. Honestly, you can. I mean, you know, it's an open market, whatever you want to do. You know, but all I know is the only one that is a former carbon scientist from NASA is Bob Kreska. That's what I know. So I tend to believe him. Plus, we tested. We did dry cell analysis. We did live blood analysis. We did EV. We did all kinds of stuff besides just my testimonial. The difference between the one I started with, which had the toluene wash, even though he says it didn't, and the one that I ended up with, which was Kreska's, were night and day. I mean, you could just see it. And I've got that on my YouTube channel. You can look it up. And actually, they were successful in having that pulled down for a while, but I got it back up. And it's just the truth. That's all it is. So, and then, you know, I was in the music business for 40 years. Do you think I ran into people that were competitive? Do you think? When I got Grammy nominations, I actually saw, and I remember when Dick Waterman picked me up for to manage me, and he managed Bonnie Raitt, Maria Mulder, Sun House, all these really greats, you know. And I am telling you, I literally saw two musicians who came up to me. They were literally turned green. I'm not kidding. I mean, I thought, oh my God, you really do turn green with envy. I mean, it was like weird. You know, they were just so jealous and so competitive, and you know, and then went out to kind of like dirty up my name. So I mean, I've been through this. The other thing that I got involved in is produce festivals. I got really good at it, and so I was associate producer for Northwest Folklife. We're talking 250,000 people. I was a co-producer for the Winthrop Blues Festival, largest blues festival in the state of Washington. And then I did the fire, what was it called? Like the Pioneer Square Fire Festival. I mean, you know, and I brought in all national groups for like, I think it was 8 different clubs. I mean, I just did a lot of events. And then one of the big ones I was working on was I was doing a festival, or we were planning a festival on Lake Union in the Northwest. And we were going to do it on barges. I mean, we just had it all. It was gorgeous what we were going to do with that. Well, One Reel, who is the big kahuna in Seattle and had been for years, they started to go after me. One person. They have a big building in Seattle. They have like all kinds of festivals they do. They do Bumper Shoot, which is 500,000 people they do. I mean, and they're coming after me. See, I've been through this. I know what this looks like, you know. I mean, that, I just couldn't even believe it. It was dumbfounded. It's the crab in the pot. You know, getting too big for her britches, pull her down, you know. So anyway, you know, but I'm a real fighter, real survivor, and I do it without any malice in my heart. I just get what it is. I just, you know, I just kind of, you know, I kind of dummy down and I just work harder. And, you know, I have Grammy nominations because I worked my butt off. You know, that wasn't a record company that did that for me. Was it? Was it a record company? Yeah, maybe it was. Well, one of them was. One of them. 2 of them were through my work. Lucy Mongrel, that was my work. But, you know, I was up day and night, sending out envelopes, sending all my stuff out. So, you know, I just run into this. And so that's why, you know, I'm smelling a rat here. And something doesn't feel right. You don't tell a small business they should move because you're going to open up a large center. And, you know, what about these people that have spent all this money? That's what they said to Gretchen. All this money, and now they're going to be competing with, you know, like the likes of you. You know, they put it nicer than that, but that's what they were saying. And so, wait a minute. First of all, we all spent a lot of money. If you spend $100,000, fine. That's your choice. But $15,000 is a lot of money. I don't care who you are, you know. So it's like, oh, I didn't spend $100,000, so I'm basically what, the mom and pop store across the street from Walmart's? Is that what this is? I'm the little bookstore that across the street from Barnes and Nobles. Is this our model? Is that the model we're following? Or should we be inclusive like Sandra is, like Sandra envisions, is the world becoming a healthier place with the these scalar waves which can permeate and really change things on this planet. So what's it going to be, right? And if you're not going to be on board with that vision, you better be really clear who you are. and that you're not her and you're not her company, because that's getting all muddled up. And I can tell by the emails I'm getting. Pretty weird, eh? I don't know. People. Anyways, we have tons of testimonials. I'm really excited about our work. I just saw something today. Actually, Andrea sent it to me. Andrea sells the wand, the TeraHertz device, and she's done very well with it. And she sent me a thing on draining your lymph and just doing it with your hands. And you know, I'm always a little bit stiff. Oh my God, you guys! I did it last night before I went to bed, and I did it this morning. It completely took all of my stiffness away. So I'm going to do another YouTube video showing you this, because it was crazy. And you can use your wand. You know, you don't even have to use your hands. I think I'm going to do all three. Like you rub, then you tap, and then I'm going to do the wand. But it's a game changer. It's a total game changer doing this lymphatic drain, especially for people that are getting up there. If you have some arthritis and stiffness, it is amazing. So I want to incorporate it in our protocol that we're doing at the center, because, you know, people are really dumping a lot of toxins. And then if we can do that protocol before they walk out the door, wowie zowie. And they can do that while they have their feet in the footpath. So I'm really jazzed about this. Andrea, thank you so much for sending that. That is a game changer, and it's going to help. I can think of 3 people that's going to help right out of the gate. Yay, yay, yay. So thank you so much. See, that's inclusive. That's where somebody sends you great information, says, hey, what do you think about this? You know, do it with your wand, you know, and then you share it, and then somebody else does it, and then somebody adds to it, and then somebody else does it. This is what it's all about. See, what we're doing with the cube is different than what anybody else is doing. And I'm sure there's people doing things like, I know there's a guy doing crystal bowls with it. There's a woman I talked to from Arkansas. She's going to be doing massages with it. I mean, this is what it's all about, is our imaginations, our connection as a community, you know, with love and wishing nothing but the best for everybody. Just nothing but abundance in health, in money, you know, anything, you know. I mean, you know, that's what I'm about. I care so deeply about nature and our earth and people, and, you know, I mean, that's what it's about. So don't do this. This isn't right, you know. So, you know, we'll see if this goes any further. You know, if I get 1 or 2 more people that make this statement to me, then I have to dial it up. I really do. It's not okay. It's not okay. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So, it's 1,000,000 degrees out. You know what? I'm really tolerating the heat. And guess what? I'm sweating. I'm not bright red. I don't know if you remember the old videos. If you look, like I was just like beet red. You know, I was like out working in my garden and everything. But because of the TeraHertz wand and the cube and my lymph, you know, whatever, I'm really sweating, which is so good for you. So, and it helps keep me cool, to be really honest. Maybe not so feminine, but, you know. All right. You know I love you. I love you with all my heart. Radical Gardener. From my garden to yours. May your garden always grow. You know I'm sending you a ton of love because I just have to. Okay. See you later. Goodbye.